Afternoon to everyone. This is the second session in the series, social issues. How many of you attempted the first one? New ones are also there. Okay, so I'll just summarize how to approach social issues first. How do you prepare yourself when you read the newspaper for social issues? Any specific approach, or you don't have any idea? Do I tell you how to approach social issues? Okay. See, social issues you have to see in multi-dimensional perspective. When you're reading polity, you cannot just ignore the fact that it doesn't have any impact on social issues. When I say there was a question on UCC, that how far it is practicable and implementable in a country like India. So the reason behind it's not being implemented is what? A political reason. Political, social, both. Economic also? No idea? What was, I asked that if you are dealing with UCC, that how far it is practicable and implementable in a country like India, would you just see it in a political angle, or would it have a social issue or reason behind it?
Social, economic, even geographical.
Geographical? How?
Because even some people from far-flung areas are Muslims, and they're not given adequate representation in the state uniforms report. That's a great.
Okay. Yeah. So to say things short, every issue for UPSC does have all the dimensions, be it social, be it economic, be it political, be it geographical, as he rightly said, and be it cultural also. So you don't have to read newspaper only in a sense that you're seeing it in perspective of only paper 2, paper 1, paper 3 and paper 4. You have to see all the dimensions, right? So when you're framing any answer for mains, what you have to do is that you don't have to again see any social issue only from socio-cultural or religious perspective. You have to know the constitutional provisions regarding it. You have to know the economic reason behind it. You have to know the government opinion on it. You have to know the various stakeholders involved in that issue. With respect to various stakeholders, I mean civil society, women groups, or whoever the group is affected in that social issue. Am I making sense to you? Do we start? So the first issue which I am taking up is Human Development Report 2015. What is the title of the report? Work for Human Development. Human development, anyone who can tell me what is human development? Sorry? Yeah. What do you mean by human development? Anyone? Why human development? Why not only development?
Development on being the center of the human, because the comprehensive development of the human, as well as the education-wise, health-wise, socio-political, and socio-structural-wise, so standard of life is
Okay. If I say that increasing capacities and giving them opportunities would make people develop. Is this the only way we can develop human beings? So what does Human Development Report incorporate in terms of when we have to say that we have to increase their capabilities? What are the 3 parameters? Okay, okay. So for prelims perspective, what you have to know is how it is calculated, what are the parameters. There was this old method adopted while calculating HDR, that was before 2010, and what is the new method adopted after 2010 that is required for the prelims perspective. The another important thing which is making me feel that HDR can be asked this year for mains, because It's the 25th year of it being created. In 1990, it was developed by whom? Mehboob-ul Haq. Okay. So everyone is knowing about it, right? So when you have to see any issue, you have to see all these things. Not only for mains perspective, interview perspective, but also for prelims and when it was formed. So that you get to know its importance, whether it will be asked in mains or not, right? So what has it done in a very big way is its theme, work for human development. Who all have sociology as their optional? No one has. I'm not going to ask any question regarding that. You have. There's a topic called work in economic life, right? So this report becomes important for you. Anyone who can tell me what is the difference between work and job? How does work lead to development, and what is the difference between work and job? Any simple example from your daily life.
Job is economically paying, work need not necessarily.
What your mother does in house, it's a work. It's a work. It's not a job. Household job नहीं बोलते हम, या household work बोलते हैं. Yeah, it's a work. I wanted to make it very clear. It's not household job, it's household work, because job is always measured in terms of monetary rewards. It's always outside the homes. Okay? So that is the difference between work and job. What the report has highlighted, that it has widened the horizon when it has defined work and job. Work, it has also categorized into paid and unpaid. Okay. Unpaid jobs unpaid work mein, what all works do you include? Only that. Okay, household. Voluntary contribution. Okay. What do you mean by voluntary contribution? You will do it for free? Okay. According to your will. Social service is a very relevant example he has given. Good. What other work is categorized as unpaid work? Creative work. Although creative work may lead to work opportunities later in life, but creative work also gives a person self-fulfillment to fulfill his or her needs in terms of creativity, right? Then how does job doesn't inhibits a person to not use its creativity? Okay, great. Okay. The other thing which the report has highlighted are the imbalances between the paid and unpaid work. You have to know about it. We'll all discuss what are the issues when it comes to recognizing the imbalances between paid and unpaid work. Paid and unpaid work. What is one dimension which is striking in your mind? What is the contribution of male and female in terms of paid and unpaid work? Who does how much work? When I say unpaid, who would be doing more work? Females. And in paid, males. So what are the issues? There was a question in 2014, the problems faced by middle class Indian working women. Okay? So these issues become important. If we are not understanding, we may fall short of points. Another thing which is very important in HDI is that there was an essay asked in 2013. GDP along with GDH would be the right indices for judging the well-being of a country. Human development per se is a very broad topic. It can be asked, it can be used in essay. It can be asked and used again in interview as well as in ethics case studies. They asked you now, what do you mean by happiness? if happiness was not important, if well-being is not important, if self-fulfillment or creativity is not important, then it will not give you any satisfaction in workplace. It will not give you any satisfaction to lead a healthy and congenial life, right? So we'll be discussing the issues. What are the issues? क्या करते हैं? अगर हम only when we are categorizing paid and unpaid work in terms of first dimension is male and female, what are the issues? Why are women only prone to do unpaid work and not men? First is patriarchal. Second, is it recognized? It's an unrecognized work. ठीक है. Third, does unpaid work require technical qualification? Experience. Okay, cutting and slicing requires experience. Okay. It doesn't. Yeah. When we have these biases that women are not good drivers, does it depend on experience or does it depend on stereotyping? Okay. So unpaid work is again a stereotype developed by society that it will be done only by women. The reasons are mainly social, which are again tilting towards society being patriarchal. Lack of access given to women in terms of education. They are not educated, so they are not allowed to go out, so they have to do the household work, right? What else? Early age marriages, okay, accepted. What else? You can write these points, because otherwise then you will say that we are short of points. What else? Safety issues, okay. What else?
The mental concept of women is that they are made for these jobs.
Stereotyping, the socialization pattern. What else? Come on, people at the back. Issues. Why only women in unpaid work and not in paid work? Okay, agreed. Okay. But ruling is not that much related to unpaid work.
Even physical, they are
Okay, physically weak. Does sitting on a chair in the office requires physical work? Stamina. Household work requires a lot of stamina, a lot of waking up in the morning. What else? Come out with all the stereotypes. These are the things which you'll write in your ethics paper. Huh? Okay, education we've already discussed. I want to discuss on stamina. Does sitting on chair require stamina? Physically weak.
Female have more mental stamina, what you can say.
No, but it is a valid point because see, majority of workforce is not employed. They are not sitting on chairs. They do informal work. They are rickshaw pulling. They are working in construction of industry.
Do women are not there in the
That's where
construction sites?
That's where the stereotype plays. That
Okay.
the woman can at best help the man carry the load. She cannot be the one pulling the rickshaw. That's where the stereotype.
Don't we see women having the bricks on their head on the construction sites? Yes. Huh? Yes, agricultural fields they are working. To take water from the far off places they are working. हाँ. Stamina मत बोल देना मगर फिर. Tradition is being continued. Okay. Stereotyping, gender biases, prejudices.
Cultural and religious side of watching has affected our social life. Like in the Vedas, it is stated like
Grihasthashram. Acha, if men are working more in paid jobs, what are the issues? Like why women are not working in paid work? Safety, sexual harassment. Third,
They're not equally paid. Men are paid.
Work has disconnected the female and male in terms of payments and
Work wages happens in both. Matlab, there was a debate also raised by Menka Gandhi that household work should also be given some kind of remuneration. They should get some monthly allowance.
children are emotionally more attached to the mother, so they
Why?
there is no why in this country. Why?
So that means paternity leave should be given to males as well, no?
I'm saying there should be balance.
Yeah, I got your point. Okay. There is a glass ceiling effect. How many of you know this term? Glass ceiling effect. Glass ceiling effect is a concept where the women are not allowed to hold prominent or the top executive position beyond a certain managerial level. So women are not allowed to work in that level, right? So there is again this issue that whatever the number of hours they are working, whatever the skills they have, they will not be allowed to work at that level. That is also one of the important issue which is also debarring women not to go for higher jobs or not to work more laboriously and only having their focus on pink collared jobs. What are pink collared jobs? Education, teaching, pink collared jobs. Okay? What else?
Religious rituals are also during men. Opening sanskar,
Okay, what else? What is the impact of urbanization and nuclear families on this? If suppose individualism, kya?
They are trying to stay family. Their tendency is changing. They are not.
Their tendency. Okay.
more liberty to women. We do the empowerment of women, but at the same time, embassy is more prone to the sexual and physical harassment.
Commutation is also one more bigger problem when it comes to women going for jobs. Then if they are married or unmarried, they cannot leave their town, right? Which males can do easily. What else? What is the impact of urbanization and nuclearization of families? More opportunities to work in urban areas. Then what will be its negative impact on the family?
Less time for child.
Less time to child. More demand for domestic workers. Okay, domestic workers में there is again more female. है ना? What else? Migration का क्या impact क्या है on work? Who would be remain? Feminization of agriculture. Women would be more in the fields, taking care of both work as well as family. Okay, what else?
Men are moving towards the city. And mostly it's the men who actually move towards the city in villages.
Males would go to the cities and women will be left behind. Right. Again, another social impact of this migration. When males migrate, what happens on women? What impact does women have to bear apart from children and work? The care of elderly. Okay? The care of elderly. The care of elderly also has a lot of importance in the urban areas. When women and males both go to work, again they are more vulnerable. Right? What else? So are you just getting or making sense that how you have to relate the things? See, these interlinkages you will not get in the newspaper. You have to just break the lines. One leads to the other. The cause and effect relationship is very important. You have to see it from different angles. That is how you have to write for social issues. If the question is particularly in paper 1, otherwise if it's in paper 2, then you can have different dimensions, right? But to make social issues more objective, in terms of giving arguments in paper one cannot only rely on social angle. See, you are aiming to become a civil servant, right? So civil servants, when they give any argument, are their arguments only based on one dimension, or are they objective? Multiple angles, right? So any societal impact, any social reason also has to be justified or should have an empirical support from different dimensions. First is constitution, that men and females both are equal. That is given in our constitution, right? So you just would not write in sky like this. हवा में नहीं लिखोगे आप कि ये है ये है ये है. You have to back it with a reason. Why we are saying for equal rights? Because our constitution also prescribes for that. Our constitution prescribes for that, right? What else?
Interdependence to independence tendency in the society.
Come again?
Characteristic features of the Indian family is the interdependence. Each members in the family is dependent on others, and we have high regards for elders. But due to urbanization, the tendency of independence has been increased because of the urbanization has provided empowerment to the each members of society. So that's it is drawing Indian society from interdependence to the independence tendency that is being observed in the Western society.
Okay, so my question to you, that is this neglect to elderly only done by women? Both males and females are equal partners to it. If both are going for job, both are neglecting elderly. One cannot blame only women, because तुम्हारा तो काम ही नहीं है बाहर जाने का. उसको ऐसे थोड़ी बोलेंगे, तुम तो जा ही नहीं सकती हो, तुम्हें तो घर पे बैठना है ना? तो all such things are just farce. One is that it's very relevant that every development in society can only happen when both male and female are contributing to the workforce, when both males and females are having self-fulfillment. If they are not having fulfillment in whatever work they are doing or in whatever situation they are, there will be always the fault lines. अगर तो या तो फैमिली टूटेगी या घर टूटेगा तो then society would break. All such things have a bearing on society, nation, everything. ठीक है? Violence होगा, divorce होगा. Divorce में तो बहुत violence होता है. ठीक है? Are you all aware of on what terms life expectancy index is measured? Age. Life expectancy index is counted as 1 if the age is 85 and 20 if 0. ठीक है? Mean years of schooling and expected years of schooling is, mean years of schooling 15 years of age and expected is 18. ठीक है? GNI per capita, all such things I'm not getting into details. ठीक है? हाँ. People say that how far we have to remember the facts. आता है ना ये question mind में? Facts are important, yes, to provide an objective argument, but one should also, if one is knowing that there has been an increase or a decrease, that can also do. If you are not remembering any fact, if you have forgotten, don't write an incorrect fact. Just say an increase or a decrease to be on a safer side. Last year कितनी थी ranking? जैसे 130. Good sign, no? हाँ, this is again very important. Work. See, work does not only have an economic cost, it also has social cost, cultural cost, security cost, and sustainable cost. You can replace the word cost with issues just to be having a different dimension. I'll just throw away some words so that you connect some linkages. When we say work, what are the social costs or social issues or social impact it is carrying? If I say that work does not only relate to males and female, it also relates to caste, it also relates to child. Is this making sense to you? Children are more vulnerable to be lured because of poverty. Okay, so what happens if children are working at a very tender age? What is happening? Less education, exploitation. What about psychological and mental impact on children? Deviance. They are more inclined towards getting indulging into criminal activities. What else? Social cost. Okay. There is again a concept called sexual division of labor and division of labor also. Are these terms familiar to you? Sexual division of labor, again, when work is divided on the basis of male and female categories, right? And when I say cultural cost, what is coming into your mind? Culture and work. It may not be only negative. See, when we say that I love painting, if I have the habit of painting, what am I doing? I'm increasing my self-fulfillment. I'm also adding to some cultural preservation. If I have an inclination towards more art, preservation of art, it is having a cultural cost.
Should be cultural credit.
Cultural, huh?
Not cost. Credit.
Cost can be replaced by any word. I am just giving you certain terms. Okay? Security cost or security issues related to work. One is economic security, other health security. Then और कौन सी security होती है? Social security. ठीक है? What is sustainable issue in work?
Whether you can do it for a longer period of time. For instance, if you are manual scavenging, you doing that work.
Exactly. What else? So when you are writing an essay, no, you should have such perspectives. Work is not only limited to economic work. Work is also having different dimensions attached to it. Understanding? Understanding? ठीक है? When we say work, when we say job, there is another issue which we are dealing with. Reservations for women in Bihar government, right? How far reservations are effective in empowering women? Because a question would come, it would come in this manner. They would not ask you how much reservation have they given.
It is giving them say in decision making process.
Okay. Is only giving reservation is a necessary tool? What else? One is attitudinal change. One is some jobs require higher educational qualification. Even if we provide reservation to women, educational qualifications will not come to a lower level, right? So reservation strategy would fail at that point of time. Getting my point? What else?
Capability development.
Huh?
Since if they can't use their profession, if they're illiterate, so then technically your measures are just you need to educate them first before you can so that they can utilize.
What else?
Child sex ratio can be
Child sex ratio.
coming down with respect to girls. In the latest census.
Okay, you mean to say बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ आंदोलन में? Okay. What else? How far reservation can lead to women empowerment? How reservation can serve as an effective tool to bring women empowerment?
Like it provides the opportunity to women to work in the
Okay. Facts I'm not getting into, that you can learn. Then there is again a issue covered in our current affairs magazine, paternity leave and maternity entitlements. Why have I included in work and human development report only? Because human development report I'm not seeing in isolation, that it is only human development which is focusing on work and job. Paternity leave and maternity leaves are also having a major impact on work and job opportunities for women. How? What change has the government brought? अभी कितना है? How much? 3 months precisely. Now they are exceeding it to 6 months, right? What are the issues? If we say that paternity leave should be given, what are the issues behind it? Reasons. One said no, कि women are more, mothers are more inclined towards having a bond with child and not the father. So,
Means recognizing a man's job in child rearing.
very good. What else? How many males like this idea of having a paternity leave? Okay. When the government has it, or if it is also given in the MNC, males always have this issue that they find it very shameful to have a paternity leave. ठीक है? And even if they have a paternity leave, what do they do? Are they actually doing the work? Huh? They are on vacation. Okay. ठीक है. Now we come to Jallikattu issue. When we have to see this issue, we have to see it in a very broad dimension of it being culture versus constitutional values, right? What are the constitutional values or provisions behind it which are being violated?
Protection of wildlife and animals.
Huh?
Protection of wildlife and animals is something.
In what are the constitutional provisions which are talking about animal or wildlife conservation? One, second.
48A and 48.
So when you are reading any issue from newspaper, you are only seeing that means from mains perspective, and you feel that prelims में तो आएगा ही नहीं, है ना?
There's also right to life, because we could actually read the right to life of animals
Isn't there any fundamental duty?
to protect the environment.
Okay, 51A, 48A, and there is another section called Forest and Protection of Wildlife in the concurrent list. Okay, so when you are seeing such a broad issue, you are not only seeing it from the mains perspective but also from the prelims perspective. And when I say prelims perspective, it doesn't mean that the question would necessarily come. This information has to be there in support to your arguments to lend it more objectivity. ठीक है? What are the provisions regarding it? Wildlife Protection Act 1972, the Prevention of Cruelty Animals PCA Act 1960. Then there is a ban imposed by the central government in 2014 on the animal testing. ठीक है? One issue is very important in this is that on what grounds can we favor or be against with this cultural practice?
Not a necessary part of the religion or the culture.
It's not a necessary part of essential part of culture. Okay, when we are discussing the points in favor and against of it, we have to be very careful.
It has doctrine of religion and culture related to religion.
Sorry?
We could have devised the doctrine of essentiality
essential practices. What again the Supreme Court has said in this context is that when culture is in variance with the law would prevail. We cannot allow any custom or tradition in the name of cruelty. Okay. So what is Jallikattu actually? Jallikattu is taming of a bull on a religious occasion called Pongal. Okay. What they do before that and after is what is debatable. How they rear and then what happens after the sport is what the animal activists are raising questions on. Their one view is that when they are rearing the animals or when they are making them prepare for the sport, they are using a lot of force, they are using alcohol, they are making them infuriated so that they perform more vigorously, with more energy, right? Second issue which they are highlighting is that it all leads to human cruelty. Cruelty cannot be justified on the ground of sport.
Human life is also law.
Sorry?
Human life is also law.
I'll come to it. Then third point is that it may lead to loss of human lives, which is again in violation to Article 21. So what are the reasons for it? What are the people supporting in favor of this practice is saying?
They have right to religious and every minority has right to manage their religious affairs. So on
ये तो last session में I discussed.
yeah, I was there.
हाँ, but then it is not applying to this.
It is applying. People are arguing that they have a right to manage their own religious affairs. So
It's not religious affair actually, cultural practice. ठीक है? And the argument which you have to say is that even in Convention of Biodiversity Act and Heritage Status, every world or every member to it recognizes that culture should be left as it is, but there should be some rules regulating it. ठीक है? Then it would be a loss to the livelihoods of the agriculturists who are seeing this festival with great fervor and recognition, right? What else? Sustainability का क्या point आएगा इसमें? Anyone? हाँ? Sustainability, organic farming, कोई point नहीं आ रहा? Guys, don't you read newspaper? No? अच्छा, milk production, right? If more MNCs would be allowed to have their industries set up there, the bulls would be required to be slaughtered for the meat, right? So the point is that when I say that if this sport is not allowed to happen, the bulls would be sent to slaughterhouses so as to make the farmers self-sufficient. For their loss of economic livelihood, they would be sending their bulls for the slaughterhouses. That is the point written in your current affairs issue also, right? What else?
That cannot work. If your beef ban is in place, then
Beef ban if it's in place.
Yeah.
It's
If it is in place, then technically.
yeah, but one dimension can be related to it. No, okay. What else? You can just see your current affairs issue. What else? Any other new point? Sorry? Someone said some point? No. What else? What else? Acha. When the animal rights activists say that it involves lot of money and loss of life, the agriculturists have their point that when they indulge in this sport, they are having the medical teams checking the bulls. So they are not violating the rules when they are indulging into this sport, right? Can you guys just settle down fast? Done? Okay. What else?
Collateral damage to both
Collateral damage to
human beings.
that is there. Okay. Next issue. Increasing child rapes in India. Huh.
Why this kind of act regarding the animals don't apply on the goat or the chicken? Lakhs of chickens or goats are slaughtered.
नहीं, this is नहीं, it is allowed, it is applied. If see, Prevention to Cruelty Act 1960 is also involving any cruelty met during transportation also, tying them in a very haphazard manner, not during transportation, it can apply. Even accidents does have the punishment in the IPC Act 428 and 429, section 428 and 429. ठीक है? Now, child rapes. Why in news? Why in news? Anyone? Huh?
New Delhi.
New Delhi.
One incident happened. 3 months baby was.
It's not only incident based. Actually, what has happened is Madras High Court has favored castration as a punishment for child rape cases. So again, the Supreme Court Women Lawyers Association, they petitioned a writ in the Supreme Court that they have to look into such cases, and they are seeking their opinion on castration as a punishment. Now the question, if it would come from different dimensions. First, severe punishment like castration can be helpful in minimizing such crimes. Yes.
International Women Survey suggests it doesn't. Wherever castration has been employed, it has not resulted in decrease in rape.
In such issues, what you have to do is that you have to have again an opinion of one recognized institution. Supreme Court in this case has said, and even the Justice Verma Committee in 2013 has said, that castration or death penalty cannot shake the social foundations or reasons behind the rape. If one is targeting any rape accused, one has to attack the social foundations of society and not taking his life. So this argument is very valid. This is applied. This can be applied in all human rights violation opinion also. Huh.
It is not the severity of punishment that is a deterrent. It is the frequency. How much cases are being, they are penalized the crime doers.
No, the point is that if it's coming in the ethics case study, would you take a very this opinion that castration should be allowed or should not be allowed?
That's what I'm saying. It's not the severity of
But the frequency. Okay. What the other point is?
rape or something is
One by one.
the rape or the sexual harassment is treated as a heinous crimes. So the punishment for this kind of, to stop this kind of activities should be severe. Like we have several rules and measures through which we can manage this kind of punishment. But history has failed to stop this kind of activities.
Agreed.
In that there should be some kind of severe punishment. So if this is castration in the case, this should be applied on small scale and on the basis of
So if we are talking about punishment, if we have from the societal perspective, what forms of punishment can you think of?
it should be reformative, not retributive. But in this case, like there is, as I mentioned, it is heinous crimes. So there should be some kind of retributive justice, so that it could be reformed for the future.
What was the point you were saying?
Extreme step taken by the state,
Hmm.
not being fair.
Okay. ठीक है. Again, what we have to do in this issue is that what psychological, social, mental impact does it carry on the child? Impact. Psychological,
Traumatized.
traumatized, anxiety, fear, depression. insecurity, more tendency towards not trusting everyone, then tendency to commit suicide as well, especially child in POSCO Act is not is everyone who's below 18 years of age, right? What else?
They become deviant.
Okay.
Criminal.
Lead to hindrance in the development of personal and professional identity.
Personality development also hampers.
Introvert.
Cognitive ability decreases.
Identity crisis.
Identity crisis. So, as a civil servant or as a police officer, if there is a case study, that what tools or what innovative strategies one should adopt to handle such cases, how would you write? First, in dealing with such cases, one should be child friendly. The language, the atmosphere should be children friendly. Second, anyone?
Accused should not be brought in front of
Exactly. The accused should not be brought in front of the child immediately. Next, come on.
Identity concealment.
Huh?
Identity should be concealed.
Identity should be concealed. What else?
The interrogation should not be prolonged. There should be breaks.
Interrogation should be again child friendly. So when you're having writing ethics answers or case studies, you have to bring in such dimensions and sensitivity to such issues, right? Because if this issue would be asked, issue would be asked from essay perspective and case studies perspective, right? National Family and Health Survey. Just open it where it is. First page, no? What you have to do is, who does it? Who does it? It conducts the survey. It is under,
They just compile.
they just compile it. Who does it?
State government.
Institute of Population Studies in Mumbai. Now, if a question would come from prelims perspective, it would come that, is there no private agency involved? Yes, private agencies are involved in giving technical support to conducting these surveys. Even financial support is given by the private agencies. So any statement coming in this respect would be incorrect, right? Data I am not discussing. What I have to bring to your notice is that if you are reading National Family Health Survey, in what respect you have to read. In 2011, there was a question that discussed the extent, causes and implications of nutrition transition said to be underway in India. In 2014, why do some of the most prosperous regions of India have an adverse sex ratio for women? Give your arguments. Third, 2015, again this sex ratio came along with data that by explaining the statistics, you had to show that sex ratio in tribes in India, why it is more favorable to women than in the sex ratio among SCs. So when you are dealing with NFHS, what you have to do is that you have to see the pattern in which such indicators are going. Data of education, sex ratio, health are very important. When you ask that how much data do we have to know, of what, everything, at least these broad parameters. Again, to lend more support to your answer. If we are talking about nutrition, malnutrition, what are the transitions which we are seeing? What I am doing is, I am not discussing the data because data is nothing to be discussed. What again I have to do is that how we have to approach that issue. Nutrition is not only undernutrition or malnutrition, nutrition is also overnutrition. What we are seeing in urban India is the changing lifestyle patterns. When we are seeing in terms of diseases, there is more inclination towards non-communicable diseases, which are non-infectious. They are not transmitted. Okay? What else would you write in nutrition transition? Female and male patterns. Again, the social biasness, social prejudices in terms of giving nutrition to female. What else? Rural-urban divide. Are you getting, are you understanding what I mean to say? That nutrition transition, you need not have the exact answer in the examination hall. But what you have to do is, in the very limited time, you have to link everything what you know. Nutrition, if you are dealing, it's not undernutrition but overnutrition. Non-communicable diseases, you have to write not only the transmitted, then the rural-urban trends, the gender gaps, the children neglect, also the impact of nuclear families or industrialization, migration. What else? How do you write? Immunization programs, government strategies which the government has undertaken. So when you're reading newspaper, you are not only you don't have to make notes of what the newspaper has covered. Suppose an editorial has come on NFHS, right? So don't limit yourself of only making notes of NFHS. What you have to do is, there only you have to relate all the things related to UPSC preparation or syllabus. It would make your notes also very holistic and comprehensive. Otherwise, you would end up making different pages of different topics. But the question is not only from a unidimensional perspective. You have to write different dimensions to it, right? Adverse sex ratio or sex ratio also, what if you have to see, I have already discussed all those sex ratio issues in the previous session. I will not get into the details because sex ratio is also understandable by you. It's now very common why it takes place, why it doesn't take place, right? But the most important thing is that the data. In these questions, you have to write the data. Sex ratio, education, health. If these data and even the human development index, if it's known to you, your answers would become more marks fetching. Okay? Dalit capitalism. Although Dalit capitalism, in 2014, they asked this question on, do government schemes for uplifting vulnerable and backward communities by protecting required social resources for them lead to their exclusion in establishing businesses in urban economics? There was again a question in 2014 or 15, Dalit movement, 2015, paper 1, right? So again, when you are reading the newspaper, the issue is only having Dalit capitalism. Don't limit yourself to only thinking on Dalit capitalism. The idea is that you have to reinforce in your mind whatever you know about such issues. It will make your preparation very easy. Okay? Now, the issues or the efforts. Why Dalits should be incorporated or involved in establishing enterprises? One reason. These are all broad. You have to be objective. How much population do they constitute? Around 16%, right? There are around 41 million enterprises, of which Dalits only hold close to 10%. Okay? One is this reason. These reasons are called objective and fact-based reasons. In such questions, you don't have to just write, again, hawa mein nahi likhna hai. Then your answer would not be different from these others' answers. What makes an answer marks fetching is such points. Make your information very objective, very fact-based. Only one fact can lift your answer quality to 1 mark ahead of the others, and 1 mark does count. Okay? Then what else? This was the economic, the fact-based reason. The other reason, social reasons. Because of okay. Then
They are marginalized in the society.
marginalized. Stereotype. Okay. What else? This again is a very hot burning topic because of the death of a Dalit student. ठीक है? So again they can ask, when they can repeat a question in prelims itself, the theme to can be repeated.
Migration crisis.
Huh?
It can end up the migration crisis.
End.
Yeah, it can minimize the migration crisis. I mean, most of the laborers from the UK and Bihar come to Delhi for a job. If there would be, I mean, small enterprises at the local levels, so this kind of migration can be stopped.
Okay. What else? The strategies. You all know that Dicky was set up in 2005 on the lines of Vicky. ठीक है? Dicky Vicky. 2005. What you should know is there in the current affairs booklet, very nicely given. But again, when you are dealing with such issues, you have to bring in the social impact, the economic impact, because they are part of society. ठीक है? When you are reading any topic like this, the next thing which should come into your mind is the SC/ST Bill 2015. What you have to prepare when you are doing Dalit issues is Manual Scavenging Act. When you are doing Dalit issues, what you should know is the constitutional provisions. ठीक है? What are the constitutional provisions? Article 17, Article 15, then 14 also. Okay. See, such questions come in prelims, no? That under which of the following provisions would have an impact on social life of the society, something like that. There was a very broad question came in prelims regarding maternity health benefits, and they gave the constitutional provisions. So you should prepare on them. ठीक है? Any other doubt? Disability issues, elderly issues, I've already discussed in detail in the previous session. I'm not going into it again. ठीक है? What else? What are the problems you face when you're doing social issues from the newspaper? Any common problem? Otherwise, you all come to the institute and you have a lot of problems while dealing with social issues. I'm just summarizing of what I every time say, that social issues or any topic, if you're reading from the newspaper, don't limit yourself. Don't see that issue only in the light of what newspaper is making you see. See, UPSC has not prescribed Hindu to you. They didn't say कि हिंदू पढ़ोगे तो clear होगा. ऐसा तो नहीं बोला. They didn't say like that, no. So what you have to do? You have to think there. You have to relate with the syllabus. You have to see the past year questions, that on which form they are asking such questions, what is required on your part to fetch marks, because ultimately you want to become a civil servant. UPSC is not opening the gates for everyone, or they have not said कि हिंदू पढ़ लो तो हो जाएगा. ठीक है? So whenever you are reading a newspaper for any issue, don't limit yourself. That is the mantra to clear UPSC. They don't want a single-minded civil servant. They want innovative civil servants. Civil servants who can bring change in society. That's why ethics paper. They want you to have innovative strategies to bring a change in such a social, in society as such. ठीक है? Any doubt? No doubt? No doubt? Okay.